So this is your assignment for today, Thursday, while I'm away. In Flash, File, New, Air for Android, and I would suggest that you follow this exactly. Follow it exactly for the first half an hour of the class, and then once it's working the way that it's shown here, feel free to go in and try to figure out on your own how to do the same techniques to achieve different things or to try other techniques as well. You're going to have, let's see, 3 or 4. Let's go 3 new symbols. So a new symbol. First one, flower. Do click on Export for ActionScript and go, okay. This will be your flower. My flower is going to be maybe yellow, red on the inside. I'm just going to make it with simple shapes. And this is not going to be fancy. So I'm going to change color. Maybe use paintbrush. It's not thick enough. Properties. I guess pencil tool is better for thickness. I'm doing a thickness around 12. And a couple. That's not going very smoothly, so I'm going to undo. And I'm going to make this down here to be smooth. So this is the pencil, which you have not used before, and it's smooth. And there's no fill color, it's just the stroke color. So, however you can, make a nice flower. That's my flower. We also, as we can remember from watching seeing what Thomas had done, we also need a cactus. So here's the brush. Notice the brush just has a fill, does not have a stroke. So it doesn't matter, I've got green for both, but green is the color here which will count. And my cactus, I don't know what the cactus is going to do. There is no stroke, but there's a size. So this is new as well. The brush size is here. So brush size, that looks like it's all right. And I'm going to make myself a nice cactus. And it's not quite what I had in mind, but it will do. And you can undo at any point, and you could fill it if you wanted to, but you know what? For now, for these basics of dancing flowers and dancing cacti, this is enough. Again, oh, that's not a symbol. Since this is not a symbol, since I didn't get into my symbol, I'll just cut it and paste it into a symbol. So I'm going to drag over it all with the arrow tool, cut it with Command Z, not Command Z, Command X, and make a new symbol called Cactus. Now, there we go, paste it in there, close to the center crosshair, and I've got a cactus. Back to my scene, I see nothing, like we talked about in class, because I've just made 2 symbols. There's nothing actually on my stage. But if I look in the library, there they are. Cactus and flower. And I guess I said 3 symbols, let's make a third one. It can just be the sun. Or how about the rain? How about, I'm thinking as we go here, just a few minutes after class ended, how about there's rain and then the cactus gets replaced by the flower? That's what we're going to do. So 4 symbols, a sun and cloud. So insert new symbol. I'm going to make my sun. Export for ActionScript. I will use the oval. You'll see with the properties, with the oval I have both a stroke and a fill. So how about I make my stroke to be none and the fill to be yellow. Here it is. I want to draw it from the center, so I'm going to hold Option. And I want it to be a perfect circle like the sun, so I'm going to hold Shift as well. And that's about good for my sun. If I wanted to draw strokes away from it, pencil will probably be a good option. A nice, big, happy sun. Whatever. All right, that's the sun. Back to scene 1. If I look in my library, I now have 3 symbols. Let's do one more symbol, insert new symbol, and I said clouds. How about clouds and rain? Export for ActionScript. Okay. I'm going to draw this, since I've taught you with this video, both the paintbrush and the pencil. Let's do the brush. And what's that? Brush size. And I'm going to go to my properties again. I've only got the gray, and so my cloud. And there's going to be rain. I'll use my brush as well. And again, you can be really fancy, and some of you will be inclined to be, so don't. Just do it. Okay, there's a cloud and some rain. And if you really do want to be picky, sure, you can undo, but please don't spend 10 minutes drawing a cloud and rain, like I know sometimes people are inclined to do. We now have 4 symbols we've drawn with the pencil tool, the brush tool, and the oval. And we've worked with properties. So, right. Let's make a layer for each of these items. So this will be the 3rd time in your lives you've done this, for most of you. Layers, double click to name them. I'm going to start with the cactus and the sun. So cactus, sun. You don't have to name these, but you should to keep yourself organized. And then we're going to have the clouds and the flower. All right, so this is an important step. Click on the cactus keyframe right here and move in your cactus. And we can just have this right in the middle. Arrow key to move it around. By the way, you can't move it when you're dragging on the white because there's no fill there. You have to go on part that is colored. So there's a cactus when there are clouds. So I'm going to go to, or sorry, when there's a sun. So the sun, here's the sun. A little bit big, so I'm going to go to my transform tool. I want it to stay there, so I'm holding Option. Oops. On my Windows keyboard here. And it's not working. Okay, there we go. All right. So, over the first couple of seconds, we won't do too many keyframes here, just 24, 48, and around 50. For the first couple of seconds, I'm just going to have these things move a little bit, okay? So, Fn, F6, which I can't do on this keyboard that I'm now using. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, which always works, but you'll do Fn, F6. And the same thing for my sun, Fn, F6. Again, I'm not on the Mac keyboard right now. I'm over on my ergonomic fitness ball with my ergonomic keyboard. And maybe a few random places, I'm going to put just random keyframes. So for my cactus, and boy, this is really, okay, I can reach up here. I'll do it this way. Fn, F6. Fn, F6. So all I'm going to do is have the cactus quiver a little bit. So here, I'm on my transform, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Oops. And maybe this one again. So it's just quivering under the sun. And maybe the sun is just getting bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller. Fn of 6, Fn of 6. So here it gets bigger. Maybe it gets bigger again here. So those two other ones remain smaller. The odd ones, the even ones, bigger. When I play this, the cactus should quiver and the sun should get bigger and smaller. And again on this keyboard, there we go. Bigger, smaller, quiver, quiver. The quiver I'm going to leave the way that it is, but I want the bigger and smaller of the sun to be smooth. So only these ones am I going to create a classic tween. Right? So you get the idea that the cactus just kind of goes back and forth, quiver, quiver, but the sun smoothly gets larger and smaller. So again, I'll run this. The cactus will move the same way, and the sun will get bigger and smaller. It's not perfect, but it's okay for this your third day of Flash. And then in move the clouds and the rain, and we get flowers. So if this is as far as you get, great. This has already taken me 10 minutes, but I'm going to do the last part a little bit more quickly. If you can do it, you can do it. So in around here comes in the flower, the cloud, Fn of 6. So made the keyframe. I'm going to bring the cloud here, just starting to come in. And over, let's say, a couple of seconds, Fn of 6, it moves over, blotting out the sun. And we'll want it to move smoothly, so we will create a classic tween. It's going to come over. And I know the sun's not showing there, but I just want to give you the idea first about what's going to happen. In comes the cloud. So to keep the sun there to be blotted out, we're just going to go to here, Fn of 6, and we might as well have the cactus stay there, Fn of 6 as well. Problem is that the cloud is not over the sun because the cloud, as I drew it, has no fill. So, if anybody gets to this, great. If you don't, that's fine. I'm going to double click on it to get back into the editing of the cloud, along with the pencil and the brush. I'm going to show you one more new thing, the paint bucket. I'm going to paint bucket the fill to be another shade of gray. Back to scene 1. That's what I intend. And when the clouds come in and the rain rains, we're going to have flowers. So I'm going to go, finally, here, maybe the flowers come in, maybe from the bottom. Fn of 6. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put a flower, and a flower, and a flower. And to maybe 100, Fn of 6, they're going to come up. We're going to tween them so that they gradually come up, and we're going to keep the other stuff there, Fn of 6, Fn of 6, Fn of 6. maybe the cactus, the cactus stays there. I'm not prejudiced against cacti. So here we go, it's done. Command enter. Our flowers moving, yeah. So clouds come in, flowers come up, the end. And one other thing you just might want to do, well, I'll show you this one other thing you might want to do. You don't have to, but projecting toward coding, your first code could actually be when I'm not even here. If you go to Actions, being on any of the last frames, doesn't matter which one, on any one of these last frames, we're just going to stop the animation in Actions with your first action script code, which is simply with a small s, stop. And close parentheses, just like with Code High School. And that's it. That's a ton. Do as much of this as you can. Help each other, and let it rain.